Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mother of Valor. This is week 2, and I want to talk about what's good. First of all, I've hit 50 subscribers on this channel, and I didn't know what I was thinking when I was starting this channel. I really wanted to just document this journey with me and my daughter. And now, like, I keep saying it, there's people going on this journey with me. And I'm beyond grateful, beyond surprised. And I'm celebrating 50 subscribers today. So that's one thing that's really good. Another thing that's really good is that I got to have a photography session with my daughter, and I'm the photographer in the family. So what that means is I rarely ever actually get photos with my daughter, let alone incredible photos. And so I received these photos in exchange for my daughter actually was doing some modeling for another photographer, and I asked if we could just have a couple pictures of she and I together, and they were beautiful. A gal named Tawny took them, and she really captured us. We were at a river, and we were playing in the sand, and we got dirty, and that's us in our element. I am what I guess could be called a free-range parent. I want my daughter to experience, explore, adventure, fall down, get back up, and know that you can fall your way into success if you just keep getting back up. I want her to know those things, and I just felt like that is captured, in these photos, and I'll try to figure out a way to share them with you guys. And so that really blessed me, really, and I'm feeling so much peace today. I brought myself into a peaceful environment. I took myself out of an unpeaceful environment, and I brought myself here. But it took me a long time to become a peaceful person. Like, the environment itself isn't enough. You have to do the work in here. Peace is a practice, just like yoga, just like anything else you do. If you want to get good at something, you have to dedicate yourself to peace. And I didn't realize that, and it was sort of stressful to try to be at peace in all this peace, because I was so used to being a problem solver up here. If I was worried about something, I would just try to figure it out. I would just try to solve it in my head. And I could have made a career doing that. And I was, pretty much a chipmunk on acid when it came to my thoughts. And recently, I've got such great mentors in my life, and I keep hearing, that the answers are in the body, and that, the peace is within, and everything is within, and everything is within you, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe if I reach this level of spiritual mastery, I'll be able to find peace within. But, it's kind of like the faith of a mustard seed. You have a peace seed, and you cultivate that baby. And, it starts with a moment. It starts with a moment where you close your eyes, and you take a deep breath in through your nose, and out through your mouth, and you just spend time being inside your body, feeling the breath go in and out of you, feeling your heart beating, feeling blood move through your blood vessels. And you can't feel it right away. The more still you become, the more you feel, the more you witness in your body. You notice where you're uncomfortable, and you notice where you're comfortable. And then you just kind of soften and sink into that space where you're not regretting the past, you're not planning or dreading the future. You're just here in this moment where all your needs are met. And you let your body tell you where you're hurting, and you acknowledge that pain. And you let your heart tell you where you're hurting, and you acknowledge that pain. You don't try to stop it, you don't try to change it, you just allow it. And it rolls through you like smoke through the wind, you know? You see it, you smell it, you feel it, you taste it, and then it disperses. And what's left after you spend that time connecting to yourself and listening to yourself, having compassionate connection with yourself, there's a stillness. And that stillness reaches out into your environment and changes things. And the more time that I spend and the more frequently I go back to that space, the easier it is to find. And I'm hoping that if I master this practice of peace, that, you know, I'll be able to bring more peace into stressful situations. I'll spend less time trying to puzzle everything out here, because you can't see very clearly when you're stressed, and you need clarity when you're going through a stressful situation. So the answer is right in here. The answer is your peace. And I have a tool to use. And anytime I start feeling the energy rise, the anxiety rise, the fear rise, the uncertainty rise, that uptake of restriction, holding your breath, energy, the tension, like when the flow of life stops, you can recognize that, come inside, return to peace. And I guarantee you, the world will look differently when you open your eyes, and your problems will look differently when you open your eyes, because you're bringing peace into those situations. And I've just now been able to learn that tool, and I'm so grateful. And I had to be here to learn it. I think I had to make the loving choice to leave the stressful situation, the unhealthy situation, and create a healthy situation. And that was really hard to do without the practice of peace in my tool belt. And I did it anyways. I made it. And I couldn't have made it without you, because I needed a lot of help to get through all that anxiety. And I'm here now. I found my peace. And it wasn't this location. It wasn't this parcel of acreage. It's not the people, the wonderful people that I get to share my life with. It was creating space for myself to have solitude. Stay-at-home moms know that, like, you don't feel like your guard is down unless your child is, maybe if your child is asleep, you get that peace. But really, it's when somebody else that you trust is watching your kid, that's when you have space to connect to yourself. Like, that's when you have the space that you deserve and require to connect to yourself. And thanks to the fact that Valor spends her weekends with her dad, and that I have super supportive friends and family that will watch her, that was my seed of peace, where I could be alone and practice in that space. And I'm really hoping that as I continue to practice peace, I'm going to be able to offer more. And I'm going to be able to impact my environment more. I want to walk into stressful situations and be the peace. And once you become peace, there's really nothing to run from. I'm not trying to get away from it all, because it was all right here. I would take it wherever I went. I had to be able to stop this and inhabit my heart in order to feel peace. And I found that place, and there's no going back. So I hope this all made sense to you all. I didn't plan it out. I really just wanted to share. And I invite you all to take a moment to plant a seed of peace. Find that compassionate connection with yourself in solitude, and see what comes up. A lot of junk can come up. You might feel pain that you don't want to feel, but you need to feel it to let it go. You might feel anger, but you need to feel it to let it go. You might feel grief, but you need to feel it to let it go. And taking the time to feel your feelings is the first step to becoming a bringer of peace. And I am very happy to call myself a bringer of peace. And this is Mother of Valor. Thank you so much for your subscriptions, for your comments, for your suggestions. If you have more questions, by the way, let me know. What are you curious about? What do you want to know about tiny living? I just love it. So if you have questions, ask and I will answer. So, Mother of Valor, week 2, take care.